There are many knights across the lands between, and even more so across the world.
I command thee.
All performing their sworn duties to protect and serve, never wavering and unfaltering in the face of any enemy.
Someone must extinguish thy flame.
Many of them blindly serve their masters, following their orders without much thought or consequence for their actions, and in some cases, for a few corrupt individuals, their own selfish needs and desires, often stopping at no lengths to achieve their goals.
We both desire to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord.
One knight in particular was faced with the toughest of decisions. This knight was Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. Loretta, witnessing the plight that plagued her people and the persecution they faced at the hands of those who looked down on them. A knight who viewed herself with a great sense of pride and duty, a duty so great that even in her physical absence, she continued to perform her sworn tasks, to serve and protect those who were closest to her.
The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the knight's onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day.
This knight was Loretta, most likely one of the enchanted knights that served the royal Carian family, anointed by the Lunar Queen. They were often seen as heroes of the highest honors. She was a proud knight with a great sense of responsibility and honor, who once served as a royal Carian knight and actually served as the personal guard for a member of the royal family. Judging by where the player tarnished can encounter her in the Carian manor, Knight Loretta's ethereal form is found waiting in an arena just before the Three Sisters region, where one of the three towers houses the lunar princess Rani. Perhaps Loretta served as the personal guard for Rani before the Carian family fell into disarray after Radagon abandoned Renala, resulting in the members of the academy turning on their former leader and her family, leading to a bloody civil war. Loretta stood watch as the last great bastion, guarding the only entrance up to the three towers. However, the Loretta we meet at the Carian Manor is not her true form, being only a ghost of her true self, making us ask, where is she now? Why did this great and noble knight, someone who was once seen as a hero of the highest honors, abandon her post and those that she'd sworn to protect? The answer to this comes in the form of the Albinaurics, an artificial race birthed from the results of extensive alchemy and experimentation at the hands of humans, created from a primordial droplet similar to that of the mimic tears that we can encounter throughout the game. Whilst their origins are not outright stated, it is widely believed that they originated from a place deep below underground in the city of Nokron, an ancient city that was once punished for high treason against the Greater Will. The first generation of Albinaurics all shared one fate, that one day their legs will fade, and with them, their lives. This can be best seen in their village, below the mountains of Liurna, where they attempted to settle down and live a peaceful and free life, away from their former creators. The second generation, often seen wandering the lakes of Liurna and many other places in the lands between, differ visually from the more humanoid first-generation specimens, having heads that resemble those of frogs and protruding bellies, wielding weapons modelled after the ripples that are said to be the origin of their species. After the civil war began between the Academy and the Carian royal family, the Academy gave permission to the Knights of the Cuckoo to act as they see fit, and in doing so, they began to persecute the Albinaurics, believing that they were impure due to their artificial nature and untouched by the Erdtree's grace.
That is a work of heresy. Its incantations bear no lineage from the Erdtree.
These false knights were not the only ones guilty of persecuting the Albinaurics, as there were also others who had such disregard for their life. Sir Gideon Ofnir sent 2 of his servants to the village that the Albinaurics called home, where they proceeded to murder almost everyone there in search of a medallion that would allow him access to the Haligtree. This act alone shows that they are still viewed as subhuman and can be treated in whatever way the humans see fit. This was not the only plight that befell the Albinauric people, as Rykard, the Lord of Blasphemy, would use the abductor virgins that can be found throughout the lands between to abduct these people and had them sent to the Volcano Manor, where he would perform vile experiments on them in pursuit of his own agenda and goals of overthrowing the Erdtree. It was often rumored that Loretta was an Albinauric herself, as she carried a shield that resembled a primordial drop of dew, the same drop that saw the creation of the Albinaurics. Combining this with the fact that all Albinaurics are destined to lose their legs one day, and we only ever see Loretta on horseback, this rumor seems to have some truth to it. However, it was what Loretta did next that really gives purpose and truth to this supposed rumor.
The oppression of the weak, murder and pillage unchecked, a waking nightmare made by men.
After seeing her people subjected to horrendous persecution and experimentation, abandoned her post at the Carian Manor. However, not forgetting her sworn duty as the noblest of knights, she had left a spectral ghost of herself behind to continue to serve and protect, as she had always done up until that point. Loretta took it upon herself to search far and wide across the lands between, in hopes of finding a new home for her people, and it is widely believed that the lands far to the north of the consecrated snowfields were a safe haven for all who were outcasts and looked down upon in the lands between, far away from the reaches of Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, Sir Gideon Ofnir, and the Cuckoo Knights of Liurna. It was here where Loretta came across the Haligtree and entered into the service of Miquella, exchanging the blue glintstone that once adorned her war sickle with unalloyed gold, earning her namesake, Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. It was here where the Albinauric people fled to, seeking refuge and safety under the service of Miquella and starting a new life free of any persecution. All of this stands as a testament that even the greatest of heroes, the noblest of knights, and the strongest of warriors can succumb to their own feelings, having a change of heart no matter how loyal or strong of a character they are. For Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree, this was the feeling of compassion and empathy, mixed with the feelings of horror and disgust. This urged her to take action. After witnessing the nightmarish and gruesome acts that were befalling her people, she abandoned her post as a proud knight, yet her ethereal spirit remained behind, continuing to perform her knightly duties and protect the Carian royal family. Many knights who take an oath swear fealty, not just to protect and serve their master, but also to serve as justice in the name of injustice, to be the beacon of light when there is only dark, and most of all, to protect the weak and innocent from the strong and oppressive. This was the heroic journey of the Knight Loretta, the knight who led her people to salvation and sanctuary, towering above all others and serving as the greatest testament as to what it really means to be a knight.